Hello and welcome to You Know Jim, the show now celebrating its 60th anniversary. Believe me, if any of us had known it would last this long, we would have been an awful lot nicer to him. Let's get started and meet tonight's contestants. Why don't you tell us who you are and how you know Jim? Let's start with you in the upper right.
So I'm Mary Kate, Jim's older sister that I'm sure he's told everybody about. I'm responsible for teaching him just about quite a bit of what he knows.
Very good, Mary Kate.
I taught him how to roller skate. I taught him how to comb his hair. That was
excellent.
That was a tough one.
Well, we really don't have much time, so let's go ahead. Otherwise, we're not going to have time.
I taught him how to bat. I had to do it with his right hand, but he insisted
I apologize.
on his left hand.
We really do need to move along.
I taught him how to clean house. I taught him how to do his alphabet. I mean, Jim and I go way back and have a lot of history for almost 60 years now.
And that's about as long as that story took to tell, so we really need to move into our first question, and it has to do with nicknames. He was christened James Patrick Garrity on December 19th, 1956, but no one called him that. Contestants, what was Jim's nickname in Poughkeepsie due to one of his particular habits as a child?
Husky?
No.
Chubby.
No, what are you getting at?
Pudgy.
No, pudgy is just a nice name for fat.
Drooly. He was the cutest, drooliest baby ever. Cutest kid in our family.
Correct. Mary Kate gets the points. Our next question. It comes from 1960, also known as the best year ever. Jim's family moved to Phoenix, Arizona then, and immediately put him into therapy for the drooling. After 12 years, though, they had to quit. Sadder still, they found out that the therapist's avant-garde methods actually led to another affliction. Yes, Penny.
Tragic addiction to juicy fruit chewing gum.
Correct. In later years, Jim's father would admit that if he didn't have to pay for all the gum for his young son, he actually would have been able to pay for real haircuts for the other kids in the family. Well, on the heels of those expensive failures, yet one more setback for the family. That's when the fainting began. Our contestants need to answer this question. What is it that makes Jim drop like a sack of wet cement? Debbie.
The thought of people coming over to his house.
No. Mary Kate.
Yard work.
Sorry.
Receiving postcards.
Well, he's actually never received any, so no. Tom, can you help us out?
The consecration of the Holy Eucharist at a sacred Roman Catholic ritual celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
Correct, Tom. Spoken like a well-trained altar boy. Well, in later years, Jim's parents had to send him far, far away from the family home to find a special school to meet his many, many, many special needs. It didn't last long, though, because that school had a very, very strict truancy policy. And try as he might, Jim could never get to school on time. Contestants, what was it that made Jim late?
Well, it wasn't because he was making everyone's lunches. That was all me. Me. And not any of you, none of you appreciated it.
Well, that's not even an answer, and let's be honest, how long does it take to go bread, bologna, bread, bag? Anybody else?
Trains crossing at Grand Avenue.
No, nobody ever believed that one.
Jim always had to stop and look at every Jack in the Box restaurant between his special school and home. Jim loved the Jack in the Box.
No, sorry, Pen.
It was Scott Bunyan's fault. Everything was always Scott Bunyan's fault.
Okay, we're actually going to give that one to you. It was usually Scott Bunyan's fault, not all the time. The extortion with the Italian restaurant in the neighborhood, that was all Jim's idea. Well, it looks like we're all tied up. Somebody could totally jump out into the lead with this one, and I think it's going to be pretty easy. It has to do with home decor. Contestants, describe the interior of Jim's house. Anything. Like, what color's the carpet? Is there carpet? Is it like a cave? Is there moss? Are there animals? That is embarrassing. Didn't see that one coming. Nobody got it right. Well, we're going to have to go to our final question of the evening. Contestants, name the best thing about Jim. Penny, let's start with you.
Some of the best things about Jim are he takes us to a spring training game once a year, every year. He's devoted to Seinfeld series. His chocolate chip cookies are amazing. And his love for animals, especially dogs.
Excellent. Deborah?
So the best thing I can think of about Jim is his generosity, his thoughtfulness, his sense of humor, and most definitely his taste in music.
Okay, how about you, Tom?
I think the best thing about Jim is several things. First of all, he makes the best chocolate chip cookies. He remembers everybody's birthday, and being the unselfish person he is, he relishes having people come to his house and spend the night or the week with him. He's very, very hospitable. Those are the things I like about Jim.
And last but not least, Mary Kate.
Jim's best quality, he has so many, and you really do, Jim, but I think it's your thoughtfulness, how incredible you were to Mom, and how thoughtful you are to all of us and our kids and my grandkids. Whatever's important to my kids, you seem to know, and cut out articles in newspapers, or take them to see volleyball games. That would be incredible. Man, even your cards, your birthday cards, are so right on. I especially remember and love the one of Greg with the little crack showing, because that seems to happen occasionally. But yeah, Jim, your thoughtfulness and generosity, it's appreciated by all of us.
Well, what do I think is the best thing about Jim? I tell you, it's that you are the most giving person I know, and you give the most precious thing that you have, your time. From taking me as a young kid in the front yard and teaching me how to play basketball and football and baseball, to even now as an adult and spending time to help me sort things out. You're the most generous person there is with your time. You had to be my brother. That you didn't have any choice about. But you didn't have to be my friend, and for that I really, really do appreciate you. And Jim, as you know, ever since that one summer in 1969 when we didn't have any television and all we had to do was listen to Kriz and Crux on the radio, I've always been so anxious to express myself in song.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down a road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way.